He looked me straight in the eye and said it again, keep trying. Maybe next time. That damn smile of his, like he was offering encouragement, like the words hadn't just cut into me and settled there like a hot coal. That made 13. 13 denials. 13 almosts. I had every single one printed out, tucked away in my desk drawer like a collection of bruises. Same cold wording, same vague praise. Highly competitive pool. Q2 might be your moment. Leadership has other focus areas right now. Not a single line about the weekends I'd given up, the holidays I worked through, or the fires I put out while he played visionary. He always said I was a key player, essential, but somehow never promotable. So I smiled back, played along, nodded like I agreed. Then I left the room and began crafting the quietest storm of my life. I started here 6 years ago, fresh and eager, with a brain wired for patterns and timing. That's what he said. Said I had the instinct. I believed him. I worked myself raw trying to earn what I thought was just on the horizon. But that door never opened. Every performance review ended the same. A pat on the back and a well-practiced excuse. He kept me close enough to use, never close enough to threaten him. He took my strategies, passed them off as his, complimented my discipline while quietly keeping that ceiling nailed down above me. I became the fixer, the planner, the invisible architect of his success. After that 13th meeting, something in me went still. No outburst, no tears, just a kind of sharp stillness, like cold metal. I wasn't going to keep waiting. If they wouldn't hand me a seat, I'd build my own damn table. I didn't hand in my resignation. Not yet. Instead, I got to work. Spent my nights learning, planning, quietly building a client base outside our walls. There were always people willing to listen if you had real results and no ego. I found the ones who liked efficiency, who wanted discretion, clients who already saw me as the brains behind the curtain. And while I built that foundation, I started keeping records, emails, meeting notes, financial slips, every shady corner he'd carved out, every shortcut he took for the sake of appearances. He got sloppy as he climbed higher, assumed I was loyal, assumed I was nothing more than what he'd made me. By the 3rd month, I had enough to burn the place down. But I wasn't interested in fire. Fire draws attention. I wanted to erase him like he never mattered. In the 4th month, I had dinner with his largest account. Just casual, nothing official. A meal, some wine, a little talk about wins and losses. He mentioned how impressed he was with the firm's results lately. I told him gently that I wasn't a partner, not even senior management. He blinked, genuinely confused. Said, "You're the reason this place is still standing." I didn't argue, just raised my glass. Before dessert, he asked if I'd ever thought about running my own firm. By the 5th month, I had said yes, quietly formed the company, signed a short-term lease on a small office space, hired 3 people, all of them smart, all of them overlooked by him for years. 2 of them were already inside, working under him, quietly migrating systems, preparing the handoff. He didn't even notice, not yet. One of them, quiet, precise, had full administrative access to the master client database. Funny how quickly people realign their loyalties when they realize their success wasn't tied to a title, but to someone who actually had their back. By the 6th month, the plan was set. I sent a single email, no long explanation, no fake thanks, just a resignation. Timestamp 10:01 a.m. No noise, no warning. By 11:30, my phone had lit up 5 times with his name. By noon, 2 emails followed, and by 2 o'clock, I caught a glimpse of him standing outside my new office window, motionless, confused, like someone had pulled the floor out from under him. But it was already too late. That morning, every client I'd quietly invested in, supported through downturns, saved from bad calls they left with me. I never asked them to. I didn't have to. They knew exactly where the steady hands had been all along. By late afternoon, their stock had dropped nearly 12%. At 6 o'clock p.m., the board scrambled into an emergency session. By midnight, his access was revoked. 48 missed calls later, my phone was still silent. 3 days passed before he showed up. No appointment, just appeared in the doorway of my new office. He didn't say hello, didn't ask how I was. He just stared like a man searching for something he'd lost without realizing he'd ever had it. "You used me," he finally said. I kept my voice steady, didn't even look away. "You used me for 6 years." He launched into excuses, rewrote history in real time, tried to pin the blame on pressure, on timing, on me. I let him talk. Then I slid an envelope across the table. He opened it. Inside were 13 rejection letters, each marked, each annotated, each lie underlined. At the bottom, in my own handwriting, one sentence: "It's not personal. Maybe next time." I gave him a nod. That was all. He stood up slower than he'd come in, shoulders sunken. Now, the firm I built runs lean and strong. My team knows their worth. Clients stay because they trust the leadership, not just the numbers. There's no ceiling here, just open sky. No more waiting for praise that never comes. No more plastered on smiles. I didn't destroy him. That would have been loud, dramatic. I simply replaced him. Undid the version of success he built on borrowed effort and uncredited ideas. And every time I pass that old downtown office, lights off, nameplate gone, I think of those 13 dismissals, and I smile, because I made my own next time.